Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're going to completely demystify the PTE Read Aloud task. I know, this specific speaking module can be a massive source of stress. It can feel like it's just you versus a ticking clock and this highly critical, unforgiving AI grader. But listen, by the end of our time together today, we're going to turn that test anxiety into confident, rhythmic execution. We're going to break down exactly what the machine is listening for and exactly how you can deliver it to maximize your score.
In the speaking module, the read aloud task is worth a whopping 7.52 points. It's literally the very first thing you do when the exam begins, so mastering this task is a completely critical first step. I mean, it establishes the baseline for your entire speaking score. Getting this right builds incredible psychological momentum, you know? If you conquer this first section, you're heading into the rest of the exam feeling empowered rather than defeated. You just can't afford to throw these early points away. And honestly, once you understand the underlying mechanics of how the algorithm actually evaluates you, you definitely won't have to.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. We're covering the read aloud basics, the golden rule, the dangerous one-line myth, navigating difficult words, and finally, avoiding common pitfalls. Section 1, the read aloud basics, knowing the battlefield. All right, let's dive right into the core mechanics of the task, because knowing the battlefield is half the victory here. The exam follows a really strict, unforgiving chronological flow, and you absolutely must respect it. Step 1. You're given a text of up to 60 words, and you have exactly 30 to 40 seconds to prepare. Now, a lot of test takers just waste this window staring blankly at the screen, letting the anxiety build up. Do not do that. You've got to actively use this time to map out your execution. Step 2. You'll hear a short tone. Step 3. You must start speaking immediately. I literally cannot emphasize this enough. You have to speak within 3 seconds of that tone. The 3-second rule is an absolute death penalty in this exam. If you hesitate or clear your throat or wait past 3 seconds, the microphone mercilessly cuts off, your voice won't be recorded, and you get a fast 0 for that prompt. Once you start speaking, keep your peripheral vision locked on that recording status box. You only get one shot at this response, no do-overs whatsoever. You have to finish reading your 60-word text before the progress bar reaches the end, and the word recording changes to completed. Now, that doesn't mean you should rush. Actually, scratch that. Rushing is one of the quickest ways to absolutely destroy your score because it jumbles your syllables together, it makes it impossible for the AI to distinguish individual words, and it just becomes a wall of garbled noise. What you need instead is to maintain a steady, forward momentum. Just a nice, constant cruising speed until the job is done. Section 2. The golden rule, fluency. Now, what's really interesting about this next concept is that I'm about to reveal the most counterintuitive scoring criteria of the entire PTE test. It's the mathematical reality of how you're graded. You might naturally think that reading the text perfectly, word for word, is the ultimate goal, right? Well, it's not. Fluency is a vastly higher priority than content. Let me repeat that because it is literally the secret to this entire exam. Maintaining a smooth delivery and a constant, comfortable rhythm is mathematically more important than reading every single word perfectly. You can actually mispronounce or completely miss 1 or 2 words, and if your overall rhythm stays perfectly intact, the AI will still reward you heavily. Fluency over content. Write that down and internalize it. And let's relieve some major anxiety right now regarding pronunciation. So many people panic because they mistakenly believe the AI is judging how native their accent sounds. No way. It is absolutely not. The system grades you on the clarity of your vowels and consonants, not on masking your natural accent. So what does clarity actually mean to an AI? It just means physically opening your mouth fully, enunciating your vowels, and finishing your words clearly, rather than trying to fake some British or American twang. A clear, well-paced speaker with a heavy regional accent is going to score vastly higher than someone fumbling around, swallowing their words, trying to sound like a native speaker. Just be clear and be authentic to your own voice. So let's look at how to practically apply this using your prep time on a sample text about childcare. Notice the rhythm here. During your 30 to 40 seconds of prep, you should be skimming the text and mentally inserting natural pauses. Listen to how this flows. Our information office on campus provided resource and support to help you make the right choices about childcare. Do you hear how natural that sounds? You're mapping out your breaths. You're establishing a comfortable, sustainable rhythm before the mic even opens. That way, when that tone beeps, you just fall right into the groove you've already built. Section 3. The dangerous one-line myth. Consider this opening line from a sample text. Roughly 1 million sexually transmitted infections are exchanged each day.
Before the grading algorithms were comprehensively updated, test takers used this trick called the one-line strategy. It was incredibly popular. People would read just these first 8 to 12 words, completely skip the long, complex sentences that followed, and quickly click Next. It was super tempting because it entirely minimized the risk of making pronunciation mistakes on difficult vocabulary. And honestly, the old system used to heavily reward this risk-averse behavior.
But I am telling you right now, do not do this. The one-line strategy is a massive, score-destroying trap in the modern AI era. The current algorithm is just way too sophisticated for that now. The AI requires sustained, continuous audio input to accurately map an acoustic model of your specific voice. If you try to game the system by only reading the first sentence to avoid tricky words, it's mathematically impossible to score highly. The AI is going to heavily penalize you for missing vast amounts of content and for utterly lacking sustained fluency. You have to commit to reading the entire text, from the very first capital letter to the final full stop. Section 4. Navigating difficult words. So, if we continue with that same medical text we just discussed, you're inevitably going to encounter terms like pelvic inflammatory disease, cervical cancer, and infertility. These are terrifying words to see when a clock is ticking down and the pressure is on. This is exactly what induces that total panic response. Test takers see a massive 5-syllable medical term, they freeze up, they hesitate, and boom, they completely ruin that perfect rhythm they were building. The fear of these complex words is hands down the biggest hurdle to maintaining your fluency. But here is the ultimate relief, and it ties right back to our golden rule. Because we know fluency trumps content, if a word is absolutely brutal and is going to make you stutter, you can smoothly skip 1 or 2 of them. Just glide right over it as if it wasn't even there. Plus, do not overpronounce endings while trying to sound excessively correct. Saying something like developed duh totally throws off your natural beat. And most importantly, and this is absolutely crucial, never ever go back to self-correct a mistake. The AI treats ums, ahs, and repeated words as massive fluency penalties. If you say the wrong word, leave it in the past. Correcting yourself breaks your rhythm, and the machine will severely penalize you for the hesitation. Just keep moving forward no matter what. Section 5. Avoiding common pitfalls. And this brilliantly illustrates what we need to focus on next. To secure the highest possible marks, we need to break down the specific technical errors that kill speaking scores. Fumbling, like we just talked about, comes from pure panic when hitting difficult vocabulary. Wrong intonation is another massive killer, meaning you speak in a flat, rigid, totally robotic tone. The AI is literally designed to listen for natural human expressiveness, the natural rise and fall of a real conversation. And pitch issues are incredibly common too. If you naturally have a lower, husky voice and you start shouting or forcing your voice higher because you're nervous, the acoustic model will struggle to accurately capture and transcribe your words. You just need to keep your voice leveled, grounded, and comfortably constant. So, here are your actionable fixes to feed the algorithm exactly the harmonious, natural data it's craving. Stop overlooking punctuation. Commas and periods are literally the sheet music the AI uses to measure your cadence. They tell you exactly when to rest. A comma is your cue for a short, natural pause, just a tiny beat. A full stop means a slightly longer break to fully reset your breath and prepare for the next sentence. By meticulously respecting these grammatical markers and maintaining that steady, controlled pitch we talked about, you're handing the algorithm the exact rhythmic data it has been programmed to reward. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember everything we've covered about how the AI actually grades you. And I want to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. Will you let one difficult word destroy your entire rhythm? Remember, flawless fluency is your absolute ultimate weapon in the read aloud task. Don't let a complex word or a slight mispronunciation derail your hard-earned momentum. Breathe, respect the punctuation, maintain your pace, and you will absolutely conquer this test.